Everyone believes that NFTs are a frozen wasteland, and attention has long since shifted to the next big thing. However, some plump little penguins have waddled back onto the scene and made serious waves with one of the biggest airdrops in crypto history. The question is, what's so special about Pudgy Penguins, and why are they thriving when so many other species of NFTs have faded away? Well, today we're diving into the rise, fall, and resurgence of this frosty phenomenon and telling you everything you need to know about the Pudgy Penguins and their habitat. So grab your flippers and let's dive in. Before we begin, you need to know that I'm not a financial, investment, or penguin professional, and nothing in this video should be taken as financial, investment, or animal advice. This video is purely for entertainment and educational purposes only. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into it. Pudgy Penguins was founded by 4 college students in July 2021. The project began as an Ethereum-based NFT project with the intention to launch an educational NFT book, a video game, and an ecosystem token. The Pudgy Penguins NFT collection consists of chubby cartoon penguins with unique sets of features. They were launched back when the bull market hype around NFTs was at its absolute peak. As such, the entire collection sold out in under 20 minutes. Within a week, the floor price had shot up from around 0.0 ETH to a whopping 2.4 ETH. Our trusty calculator tells us that's an 80x in price. Oh, and for anyone wondering, the floor price represents the lowest price you'll pay for a single NFT in that collection. As was the norm with NFTs back then, some people paid crazy amounts too. Here's an example. Notice anything interesting about this little guy over here? This plain-looking penguin happens to be the only one angled to the left, making it the rarest of the bunch. As such, one investor happily parted with 225 ETH, roughly 2.5 million at today's prices. It's now valued at a whopping 400 ETH. Only in crypto. Hey folks? Pudgy Penguins even drew mainstream media attention, gracing the cover of the New York Times. And to add to the excitement, Pudgy Penguin holders were airdropped a mysterious NFT of an egg that would hatch on Christmas Day in 2021. However, things quickly went downhill. Just months after the launch, tensions rose between the founding team and one of the Pudgy Penguins Discord mods named Darth, who accused them of misappropriating funds. After allegedly being offered just 1 ETH to keep quiet, Darth refused and publicly left the project in December 2021. Not a good look, to be honest. This knocked the confidence of an otherwise enthusiastic community, who are known as huddlers. To make things worse, that egg NFT, which hatched on Christmas Day, turned out to be a fishing rod. Yes, really, not an animal, a fishing rod. But hey, they were misspelt as a rog, so that's got to count for something, right? Unsurprisingly, everyone was pretty disappointed with this and accused the founders of not delivering on earlier promises. The founders released the Little Pudgy collection that same December as an attempt to appease the community. But it was too little, too late. The final nail in the coffin came when an anonymous NFT influencer alleged the team were planning to rug the project's treasury the following month. What's crazy is that this influencer shared screenshots showing they were also offered 20% of the company in exchange for 4,000 ETH. When they refused, the team offered 100% equity for just 888 ETH. And if that doesn't scream desperation, well, I don't know what does. The community was pretty pissed off at this point, and in January 2022, the huddlers ended up ousting the original founders with a community takeover, or CTO, which is widely regarded as one of the most successful CTOs in crypto history. The community's huddle game was strong, and this led to the project being bought by Luca Nets, who managed to completely turn things around. For context, Luca is an entrepreneur and longtime Pudgy Penguins fan. He purchased the company in April 2022 for 750 ETH, worth around $2.5 million at that time. After Luca took over, there were two funding rounds, a 9 million seed round in May 2023 and an 11 million funding round in July 2024. The project is now overseen by the parent company PENGU Inc., which was established, slightly ironically perhaps, in Miami, Florida in 2024, and is where Luca also serves as CEO. Oh, and by the way, if you think this video is flipping great so far, waddle over to those like and subscribe buttons and give them a little peck. Then slide over to that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss any more videos like this. So then, how does the Pudgy Penguins project work? Well, at its core, there's the original NFT collection of 8,888 Pudgy Penguins. Each penguin is uniquely generated from over 150 hand-drawn traits. At the time of shooting, Pudgy Penguins has a floor price of over 23 ETH. And there are also two smaller Pudgy collections. The first is the aforementioned Little Pudgies, which has a much higher supply of 22,222 NFTs, and a much lower floor price of around 2.4 ETH at the time of this video. Of course, there's also the Pudgy Rods collection that hatched out of the eggs we mentioned earlier. These rods, or ROGs, have a supply of just under 7,400 and a floor price of around 1 ETH. Pudgy Penguins holders have also had the option to receive several soul-bound tokens, which, for anyone wondering, are non-transferable tokens that live permanently in a wallet and represent a unique identity. These soul-bound tokens include true PENGU, which were airdropped to holders of the main collection to recognize their early adoption, and PENGU pins, which are sort of like medals given to reward outstanding community members. But the Pudgy Penguins team has expanded its revenue streams far beyond NFTs and other digital tokens. There's a whole array of Pudgy Penguins merch available on the Pudgy Penguins website, and even more on the website of the parent company, PENGU Inc. You can even get Pudgy Penguin toys available from major US retailers like Walmart and Target. According to CEO Luca Netz, the project sold over 1 million units of these in the first 12 months alone. And thanks to the Pudgy Penguins team launching something called Overpass IP, NFT holders can participate in licensing deals. So, your Penguin NFT could have its own physical toy, and you'd earn a 5% royalty for each toy sold with your design. If that wasn't enough, Pudgy Penguins also has its own recently released trading card game called Vibes, and is actively working on multiple Pudgy-related games too. More about those a bit later. In any case, everything we've just covered is exactly why the brand has become so successful. Each product brings an extra layer of marketing, and this raised awareness draws more people to the ecosystem, boosting the company's revenue. And this has helped the project stay resilient, even when the NFT winter was at its coldest.
The Coin Bureau deals page. It won't make you stronger, but it will make you better at crypto.
Mind you, nothing raises brand awareness in crypto faster than the promise of free money. And as you'll have no doubt seen, Pudgy Penguins recently launched a native token called PENGU on the Solana blockchain. This came as a bit of a surprise to many because the Pudgy Penguins team is actively developing its own blockchain called Abstract. But according to interviews with Luca, he had a gut feeling that the time was now and that Abstract simply wasn't ready. PENGU was designed to reach as many people as possible and provide a more accessible entry point into the Pudgy Penguins ecosystem. And this is why Luca chose to launch PENGU on Solana, since it's arguably the blockchain with the most engagement at this stage. Well, that and the fact that he opened a pack of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and the first card he saw was called Sol and Luna. Can't argue with that logic. Anyway, PENGU was claimable for holders of any Pudgy NFTs. Specifically, Pudgy Penguins holders could claim around 2 million tokens. Little Pudgy holders could claim around 202,000 tokens, and Pudgy Rod holders could claim around 81,000 tokens. However, PENGU was claimable for long-time users of Ethereum and Solana. Over 1 million wallets created before 2024 were eligible to claim PENGU tokens, with the amounts varying based on activity. There's an 88-day claiming period from the token's launch on the 17th of December, which means the window closes on the 15th of March. So, if you're watching this video around the time of the release, it might be worth dusting off those old wallets and seeing if you're eligible. 21 billion of the 23 billion tokens have been claimed so far, so it seems a few old wallets still need to be woken up. That reminds me, if you've ever purchased a Pudgy Penguins toy, then I've got great news for you. Luca revealed in an interview that toy holders will be able to claim exclusive rewards sometime in the future. So, watch this space and hold that little sucker tight. Now, you'd be forgiven for thinking that such a massive airdrop would result in PENGU's price immediately tanking, since a lot of recipients would have sold as soon as they received the tokens. However, PENGU was catapulted immediately into the top 100 cryptos by market cap, and at the time of shooting, its price has actually remained remarkably resilient. And this naturally brings us to the tokenomics. Since we've already covered the NFTs, we'll focus on PENGU. PENGU is an SPL token on Solana that was designed to expand the community by reaching as many people as possible, which it achieved via that massive airdrop. In keeping with the project's love for weird numbers, PENGU has a maximum supply of 88,888,888,888 tokens. And try saying that after a few dry martinis. And this is probably because the number 8 is considered lucky in some cultures, and, as we've seen, Luca appears to be a superstitious type. Anyway, there are currently 62.4 billion tokens in circulation, which is 70% of the supply. And these are roughly allocated as follows: 18% to the team, 11% to the company, 26% to the Pudgy community, and 24% to other communities. It's honestly unclear which of these pots the Pudgy airdrop will fall under, the Pudgy community or others. Anywho, 12% is kept aside for liquidity, 4% for public goods such as charity work, 4% for proliferation, presumably marketing, and interestingly, 0.35% has been set aside for FTT holders, the exchange token of the now defunct FTX. It's worth noting that any airdrop tokens that aren't claimed by March will be burned. Oh, and note that the allocation for the team and the community, just under 30% in total, is subject to a 1-year cliff and a 3-year vest. Although it's basically just a meme coin for now, PENGU will eventually serve as the native utility token for the ecosystem, giving holders perks like voting in community governance. PENGU's price flew up over 5.7 cents when the token went live and crashed just as quickly to 2.3 cents as people sold out. And who could blame them, right? For many people, this was hundreds, sometimes even thousands of dollars in free crypto that was given away at a time when a lot of people's bags are down bad. Despite this selling, though, PENGU still has a market cap in the billions of dollars, putting it comfortably in the top 100 cryptos. And this means that as far as airdrops go, PENGU is not only the largest in history, it's also one of the most successful. It'll be fascinating to see where the token's price heads in the coming weeks and months. Unfortunately, it's a bit too soon to say how big PENGU could get, and there's also not much precedent we can use to get a sense of this. Obviously, PENGU is quite similar to ApeCoin, which was launched by the Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT collection. The thing is that ApeCoin only hit a market cap of around 5 billion in the previous cycle, and if PENGU is following ApeCoin one cycle behind, that would be only a 2x from here, and we reckon that PENGU could in fact grow much larger than that. And this ties right into the Pudgy Penguins roadmap, or as they call it, the quest map. We should caveat right away, though, that the latest quest map was released around the time that Luca took over the project way back in 2022, so it's a little outdated. Although, interestingly, the project's website features a fun little Pudgypedia section, and if you search for quest map, you'll see this section that suggests a new roadmap is in development. It could be nothing, but it may be worth keeping an eye out nonetheless. Regardless, what we do know is that the team is actively building out some pretty exciting additions to the Pudgy Penguins ecosystem. Perhaps the most ambitious of these is the aforementioned Abstract, an Ethereum Layer 2 that leverages zero-knowledge rollups. Now, I know what you're thinking. Great, another Layer 2. But the thing that sets Abstract apart is its focus on engagement first. Specifically, there are 3 stages, with stage 1 focusing on gaming, social media, collectibles, IP, trading, and betting. Stage 2 will expand Abstract's offerings by moving into things like DeFi, deepen, media, payments, and digital commerce. And stage 3 is where Abstract will create a massive economy focusing on online banking, taxes, DAOs, credit, insurance, data, and more. To call this ambitious is something of an understatement. Now, aside from Abstract, the Pudgy Penguins team plans to continue striking partnerships with retailers to sell licensed toys, and there's also talk of expanding the utility of the PENGU token, although this has not been officially confirmed for now. But back to that venture into gaming. Not only has the team just released a pretty sweet arcade game, but there are also 4 additional games being developed, and these are Pudgy Party, Pudgy World, Pudgy Life, and Pudgy Fishing. Pudgy World is perhaps the most exciting. It's an open-world, story-driven game built on ZK Sync, an Ethereum Layer 2, that allows NFT and toy holders to complete their journey with customizable characters. Pudgy Party will apparently be a AAA mobile game that aims to give a fresh take on the knockout royale genre, making it a competitor to popular games like Fall Guys. And then there's Pudgy Life, which will be a mobile simulator game. As for Pudgy Fishing, this was teased way back in 2021 when the Pudgy rods were first released, but nothing ever materialized. At the time, though, the idea was that a Pudgy rod would be required to play the game, since your penguin wouldn't be able to fish without it. To be honest, though, this probably isn't the best approach to getting a game off the ground. Nobody is going to pay thousands of dollars to buy a digital rod to fish for digital fish. And this, of course, brings us to the challenges that Pudgy Penguins could indeed face. And the first of these is the volatility of the NFT market. While Pudgy Penguins has proven to be a resilient project in the NFT winter, it's hard to say if the NFT market will ever experience a full revival to the levels we saw in 2021. This uncertainty could create a lot of volatility in this space, which could be problematic. Now, for example, if the floor price were to suddenly fall by 50%, as it did when the PENGU token was first launched, this could turn the focus of NFT investors to other projects. And this relates to the second challenge, and that's competition. The team's vision has helped the project to become a massive success, but you can bet there'll be other potential rival projects watching and taking notes. Basically, other emerging NFT projects could begin to compete and steal market share away from Pudgy Penguins. And this is especially true if the NFT space does experience a full revival. Recall that the Bored Ape Yacht Club is working on something similar. This ties into the third challenge, which is revenue dependency. Put simply, Pudgy Penguin's business model relies on brand awareness, and in large part, this means leaning on licensing for things like toys and merchandise. The thing is, this plan not only requires solid execution, but there also needs to be an actively engaged target audience that's willing to buy these things in the first place. If attention fades and sales plummet, the major retailers we mentioned earlier, like Walmart and Target, would likely remove these toys from the shelves. And this would be a major blow to Pudgy Penguin's revenue and brand awareness. And this relates to the final challenge, and that's the high expectations that have been set by the project. The community has shown that they're strong and resilient. After all, it's why they're referred to as huddlers. But there's always the risk that unexpected setbacks could bring old issues to the surface, so to speak. Not only that, but there are high expectations for Pudgy Penguins and Igloo Inc. CEO Luca Netz, and there's a risk of possible burnout. After all, Luca is only 21 years young at the time of shooting, and he's already working 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. To be fair, though, the project has gone from strength to strength under Luca's leadership. Put simply, this guy, he can cook. So whatever challenges the Pudgy Penguins team finds themselves up against, Luca's vision and the community of huddlers backing him will likely be more than prepared. The catch is that Pudgy Penguins has already grown very big. The NFTs cost tens of thousands of dollars, and the PENGU token already has a market cap in the billions. This means that the gains both are likely to see won't be as large in percentage terms, at least, relative to other cryptos that haven't had their day in the sun, or rather, on the ice. Believe it or not, but there are still dozens of promising up-and-coming cryptos that could grow as big as PENGU, and a good place to start looking is in the Coin Bureau Club. That's where you'll find deep dives like this into projects with much smaller market caps, meaning a lot more upside potential. You'll also get regular alpha from our research team, see what's in our personal portfolios, gain access to our exclusive members-only Discord group, and much, much more besides. So, if that sounds good, become a member by using the link in the description below. Now, if you enjoyed that video, then why don't you watch our latest video right over here? Or are you looking for a crypto exchange? You may want to check out our video on the top 5 exchanges right over here. Until next time, this is Nick, signing off.